What do all these have in common, right? These are actually good games as well. We got Digimon World, we got Earth Defense Force 5, which is a base game, and we also got some of the Switch games as well. But what do they all have in common? So they're all physical. And the issue is, PlayStation has announced that they will no longer be doing a physical discs production. It ends in January 2028. All physical discs. So the PlayStation 6 will have zero, and I mean zero physical discs. There will be no disc drive. PlayStation 5 is the end of the line for physical consoles. As stated on PlayStation blog, physical disc production ended in January 2028 for new games releasing on the PlayStation consoles. Why is this important? Because when one company does this, everybody follows suit. You've already had the Switch try and do this with their key cards, which are basically just a physical card with a code on that just activates the game. And they're probably going to follow PlayStation and Xbox as well. Okay. In response to shifting trends of consumer preferences, new games will be releasing on PlayStation Store and in retailers in digital format only. So now you will go to GameStop, you will go to whatever other shops sell games, which probably won't be a lot by then, let's be real, and you will buy a digital code. It may be in a box. GTA 6 is a very good reference to this. They have probably started the trend. Well, it won't be a trend now. Everyone will be probably following suit very soon. It will be a digital code in a box. So PlayStation stores and retailers in digital formats only. So Sid Sherman, he, him, I don't know why they still recognize the he, him, she, him, whatever. Nobody cares, dude. Anyway, Senior Director, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Content Communications. As consumers' preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital physical game disc production, all new games releasing on PlayStation 5, on PlayStation consoles, not the PlayStation 5, but from January 2028, will be discontinuing starting January 2028. So PlayStation 6 will be digital only from January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. The transition has no impact on games that are already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc form. This is really, really bad. This is going to spark every single large company to go, okay, we need to stop paying for these physical forms, stop producing physical copies, and what we're going to do is just sell you a code which is a digital license in a box for you to buy. Problem is, there was a report not a week or two back now. They got rid of hundreds and hundreds of movies on the PlayStation Store because of licensing concerns, or licensing, the licensing ran out or something to that line, and people who bought the actual movie no longer can use it. That's how I sort of read it anyway. It's just going to be the same for games. If all your stuff is physical, not physical, if all your stuff is digital now, and you have all these digital games on your PlayStation 6, and then the PlayStation 7 comes out, and then the PlayStation 8 comes out, and they stop doing production for the PlayStation 6 because the PlayStation 8 or 9 is out, and it's been like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, are you then going to lose all your digital stuff on your library, like they have done with movies, because they've decided to stop production, and it's in their terms and conditions that they don't have to because of the licensing agreements, because you are basically buying a license, you're not owning the game, because it's not a game, it's a digital code you are buying. Okay, all the games from now on are not games, they're not physical games, You do not buy the game, you buy a license for the game, and that license can be revoked in their terms and conditions if they need to do it for whatever reason. Stop Killing Games has tried to push this for physical. I don't keep up with it, so I don't know how far they have got, but in Sony's new terms and conditions, when you buy a game from January 2028, it will be a license only, and in the terms and conditions, probably in the small print, they can probably revoke that for whatever reason. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. This is the end of physical media. This is the end of going to GameStop and doing the midnight launches. This is the end of buying a used copy of Call of Duty. You will not have any of that with the PlayStation 6 or going forward, and you probably won't have any of that going forward soon with Nintendo or soon with Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft is pretty much, the Xbox has pretty much gone that route anyway, because of Game Pass. But basically what they want you to do is rent everything and keep giving them money for the games. Okay, so even when you buy a digital game, they want you to keep spending money on their store for their subscription, because obviously with PlayStation, the Xbox, you have to pay a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription to play online. I've got every console. I basically go PC now. I don't really use consoles whatsoever anymore. The last console I really went hard on was the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 360. I've got a PS5, but I very rarely use it now. And I've got an Xbox, but that rarely gets used either. And I obviously got a Nintendo Switch, and I rarely use that either. So I've basically gone to PC anyway. And the problem with this is the PS6 is going to be like £1,000 minimum, probably more than that now. If the RAM prices go down, it's probably going to go down to around £900 or £1,000, even with it going down. But at the minute, you're talking like £1,500 realistically, because I think they said the parts come to like £1,000 alone, regardless of the pricing at the minute, and it's supposed to go up. So by January 2028, obviously, I'm guessing this PS6 is probably coming out towards Christmas time of 2027, if I had to guess, because obviously they're saying January 2028 is going to be stop production. So probably, if I had to guess, 2027, end of 2027 is going to be where the PlayStation 6 comes out. They say it's a natural direction for Sony Entertainment to adapt consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This is absolute rubbish. This is a lie. The transition will enable us to align more closely to how most of the community prefers to access their physical games today, or play their games today, sorry. So they play their games on digital because it's easy. Right, you go home, you don't have to go to a shop, you can just press a button, you buy it, it goes over. Problem is, you don't own the game. Okay, you just buy a license. If you buy a disc, like back in the PlayStation 2 era, you buy a disc, you own that disc. There was no internet back then. I don't think there was on the PlayStation 2, not if I remember it. Or maybe it was just coming out then, but not many people had it. So you bought a disc, the disc had the game on. The game, if it had bugs, they were not getting patched out, because it was just one and done. Bought the game, if the game had bugs, the bugs were in there for life. There was no patching, there was no internet connection, it was just a solid disc, and you got your content, you got your box, you got your PlayStation, put it in your PlayStation, and that was it. Nowadays, it's nothing but digital forms. Oh, okay, we'll send you a game out that's you got bugs and needs patching, but don't worry, we'll do that in like 2 or 3 months after you pay for the game, full price, by the way. And I think that's just, yeah, it's not a good time. It's not a good time. That's why I've gone to PC, because the games are just cheaper. It's just generally cheaper, and you don't have to pay a subscription to play online like you do on the PlayStation or Xbox. That's my preference, but yeah. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices to where players prefer to purchase new games. Wherever there At retailers or at PlayStation Store, we remain committed to delivering a world-class experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. So, who is liking this? No one should like this. This is just basically PlayStation setting the trend for every single big company to go digital only because it's cheaper for them to produce and there's less comeback for them, and people can't trade it secondhand. You can't trade a digital game in. You can't get any money for it. Like back in the day, you used to go in with PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 3 games into GameStop. You used to go into GameStop, get two different credits. You used to get in-store credit or you used to get cash credit. So they'll say how much is worth in cash and they'll give you the cash, or how much you're worth in credit. You better trade it for in-store credit and get more money. So then you could go trade it in for another game. This used to be really, really good because you get 4 or 5 games you complete. Then you go in with these 4 or 5 games, trade the 5 games in and get 1 new game or something like that. And it was just something to recycle games you weren't going to play anymore and basically just buy a new game you wanted to play. So they completely removed that option for you. They completely removed the option for you to buy any physical games whatsoever now. And you are going to get your digital code in a box and you are going to like it. If you do not like it, it doesn't matter, because under their terms and conditions, you're buying a license anyway, and they can revoke that license whenever they feel like it for whatever reason. So yeah, we're not heading into a good time, guys, and PlayStation on their blog have now literally said 2028, January 2028 is the day or the month PlayStation will no longer be producing physical discs for their games or their consoles. Yeah, it's a bad day. It's a bad day. Physical media is actually dead. It's dead. Over. And going to GameStop is going to be retro from now on, because you ain't going to be able to have discs anymore in your games, and it's just don't matter if you don't like it, dude. That's what they're doing, and you ain't got a choice in it. Anyway, if you like this video, mate, hit that like and that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Honestly, they're just kind of just pushing it, and we can't really do nothing to it. Rockstar obviously knew something about this because they were on physical code in a box before anyone else. So I'm guessing they might have knew something about this. I'm guessing it's just a theory of mine. But yeah, not a good time to be a PlayStation or console gamer. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.